Now. So hello everybody and welcome. My name is Afia Degani and I work for the Ontario Restaurant, Hotel and Motel Association. I want to say thank you for joining, and this is our second meet and greet for OHI and ORMA student members. I would like to also thank both our panelists, Sarah and Ankith, to join us today, and I hope everyone just has fun. So let's begin. I'm gonna start. I want to introduce to you guys Sarah Tabassum from the Metro Toronto Convention Center, and I'll let her do her introduction and a little bit about her journey through the events industry. Over to you, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you, Alfia. Super excited to be here, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Sarah. I'm the People and Culture Manager here at the Metro Toronto Convention Center, located in downtown Toronto, at the heart of the city, and a proud member of the ORMA network as well as the OHI network. And very excited to be here to connect with the future of hospitality. We're at such an exciting place in our industry right now in terms of the excitement and interest for career growth, career opportunities in this exciting industry of ours. So excited to connect with all of the students and hopefully over the next little while give you a bit of insight in terms of what the Convention Center has to offer. Taking a step back in terms of kind of my hospitality story, I've been here at the Convention Center for 11 years, and I really connect when we talk about students and internships and co-ops because I started my journey here at the MTCC as an HR intern 11 years ago when I was completing my postgraduate studies at Humber College for hospitality operation. So it was a very, very meaningful experience because one of the key aspects of building a career in hospitality is really the hands-on experience that balances out the theoretical knowledge you're getting through your studies as well. So anyone who is seeking to get into this career path, I highly, highly recommend really leveraging your network, connecting with your students, connecting with associations and organizations like ORMA and OHI, and see how they can connect you to get hands-on experience. And this could be volunteer opportunities. This could be one-off events that we're hosting that you can come and join us for. It could be you attending one of the events as well that we're hosting because every event is so different. The diversity that our industry brings. It's really one of the key aspects that has kept me tied to the convention center and to hospitality and tourism as well. 11 years ago, I didn't know that I would be spending 11 years and working in hospitality. But one of the key takeaways for me that still stays strong is you're forever learning. The MTCC is truly a learning organization. We have almost 800 employees right now. We have 20 departments. And I always say, like, what subject matter do we not have? What skill set can you not experience at the convention center? And the cool part of that is in hospitality, you don't necessarily have to pick a career path now and stick to it for 11 years. I have team members who started in HR, then went on to become one of our senior sales manager. I have interns who completed their internship in event coordination and then moved into docs and logistics because as they grew, as they found out more about the industry and the organization, they learned about what else we have to offer, and they found their passion in different areas. So to all of my students who's listening in, sometimes because I've been in that student spot, we get stressed out that we need to pick something now and we have to forever stick to it. But that's the beauty of our industry. Your passion can change. You're growing, your skill set, your experience is growing. And I think that's what we as an industry have to offer you as well in terms of whatever that's learning path you're going in, whatever the journey you're going in. Let's have a conversation about it and let's see how we can almost customize it to what you want to experience as well. I currently, actually yesterday, I just did orientation and we welcomed our spring and summer interns to the convention center, and everyone's journey is going to look very different. Even if, like my HR intern, they're interested in recruitment and training, and that's what we'll kind of focus their area of expertise in as well. So definitely keep that in mind. Your hospitality journey is truly what you put into it, and how you want to make and grow of it. And I hope that excites you, because it definitely excited me, and I'm sure it excited Ankit and Afia when they came into this industry, knowing that they don't have to stick to one mold, that they have the opportunity to bring their unique skill set. And the industry and the organization is going to help you just flourish and develop with that as well. So that's definitely one the main things that keeps me excited every day for the last 11 years as well. A little bit about my role as a people and culture manager. I'm part of the HR team. So one of my biggest responsibility here is to look after recruitment. How do we bring in more team members into the organization? That could be through the various job opportunities we have. That could be through internship programs we have with the colleges and universities around the city. And that could be through programs like Be Our Guest that we have in partnership with OHI, as well as TDSB. It's really about growing the talent of our industry for the future, developing them and setting them up for success, because the industry is growing, the opportunities are endless, and we want to see who else is interested to come in and join this exciting adventure. I hope that was a good intro and helpful.
Yes, definitely. That was amazing. And I love what you said, right? Hospitality is all about different things and you can find your way through it. It's not just one job, it's so much that you can explore in the industry. Well, thank you for that, Sarah. Let's go on to Ankit. So, everybody, Ankith Vishwanathan works with Daniel as a pastry chef. Ankit, over to you.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself is by trade. Yes, I work as a pastry sous chef for Daniel, and it's been about 4 years that I'm in Toronto. And before that, I started my career in Bombay. That's where I met Afia. We used to work in the same hotel called Taj Lands End, and so that's where I honed my pastry skills, and that was my first step into the industry. And then post that, I worked within the company for 3 years before I decided that I need to like brush up a little more about my pastry skills and explore what's actually there internationally. That's when I decided to come to Toronto and enroll in George Brown College in the French pastry course they had, and that course enabled me to like move to France and spend a semester there, and like I did my internship there, and yeah, that was a very fruitful experience. Like when it comes to my experience about events, like France was like the first catering experience that I've had. I was interning at this catering company. They used to cater for a big events like Paris Fashion Week and like Roland Garros and stuff like that. And then I took those experience and I moved to Toronto, and then I thought maybe this is something that I should look forward to, like is catering and events, because it's very different from working in a hotel or a restaurant. It's every day is the same, but it's also the different at the same time, because you have different events every day, and each event is has different requirements and stuff like that, and that's what keeps us going, and it's never it's always keeps you on your like toes. So that's what I like. Yeah. Hope everybody got a gist of what I try to do here.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Ankit. And it's true. Like you said, there's so many new things that happen in an event every day, and you never know, right? Like if something goes wrong, how do you fix it? If
Yeah.
something goes well, how do you make it better the next
Yes.
year,
Yeah.
right? And your experience in Paris, it was something similar. You did events in Paris as well, right?
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about that experience? Because it's
Yes.
global. We'd all like to
Yes,
know.
of course. So, as we all know, like Paris is like an international city, and there's like a lot of events which is happening throughout the year. So like it starts with the French Open, and they have Paris Fashion Week, and they host like event. Last year, the year before they had like Olympics, which is like one of the biggest events that happen in the world, and so it's like a very bustling city as well. So, like when but in terms of like operation, like where we go, like the logistics and like everything that goes into like pulling off such event of that big size, that is truly amazing. That I felt like it's like a lot of small parts working together. It's like you have this big machine, but like when you don't have that one small part, like the whole machine can fall apart. So everything has to work in synergy. So like that is something that I was very interested, and like that wowed me to like, oh, maybe like, this is what I do a little bit. This is my bit of contribution, and like this is my bit of contribution like goes a long way like to paint the whole picture. So that's what keeps me going. Like it's also, but these are like social, like when it comes to social events, it's like you're trying to be a part of somebody's like celebration, especially like wedding. Like we want everything to be so beautiful so that like they have like a memory for their life. So that's what keeps me going. That's why I choose to work in events.
That's amazing. And just because you touched on it, every little department makes a difference, right?
Yes.
And so just with two very different people in the industry, one from the HR background and one from the chef and catering background, it's very different perspectives. So from your perspective, Sarah, what do you think, and how many people and departments make the event successful?
You know what? I think one of the cool part about our industry is that at the end of the day, not one single individual can make the magic happen. It's truly an out and out, a team collaborative work environment. That team spirit, I think really adds to the excitement. And I like for Ankith, for example, like the culinary environment, like with how fast paced it is, the level of excitement that comes with that, the level of creativity that comes with that profession, is it's not kind of comparative to any other industry, I can definitely say. So it's truly a team focused work environment. So anyone who is thinking about going into this industry, I think that's one of the first thing that I will highlight, that you have to enjoy that. You have to enjoy being amongst people working with a diverse group, and not just diverse in the sense of ethnicity or background, because that is well represented in our industry and something we are extremely proud of, but also diversity when it comes to skill set, when it comes to the experience that they bring in. Ankit talked about his international experience, which is so key to our industry as well, because again, we're connecting with clients and attendees from all around the world, but all around the industry as well. If, for example, if you're familiar with the convention center, you know, right now we're setting up for the Ontario Dental Association, who's coming in just 2 months' time. We're going to be getting ready to welcome Fan Expo. That's completely two different audiences we're catering to. But still, the goal is the same. How do we come together as a team to make it a memorable event and make it a memorable experience for every single attendee who's coming through our door as well? And that is out and team effort that you're bringing in. The level of events that we do and the size of events that we do at the convention center can range from, you know, your 20 attendee corporate meeting to your 6,000 attendee gala event during the holiday season as well. But all departments play a part. It could be, you know, the number of team members could differ, but everyone plays a part, from our sales team to our events team, from the HR team in terms of supporting with recruitment, from accounting to culinary to banquets to stewarding to our cleaning services team, engineering team. Everyone plays a part to make that experience memorable. So that team component is extremely significant and to the success of our industry. And speaking from the perspective of a HR professional and a recruiter, that's something we look forward to when we connect with candidates who is looking to join. And that's the first thing we ask about in terms of from from a team collaboration perspective, like what are you hoping to bring into the convention center as well? What are you hoping to learn from us that will further elevate that skill set? One point that Ankith mentioned, and I speak about this a lot, is that with 20 departments and 800 employees, there's a lot of moving parts. There is a lot of pieces of the puzzle that comes together. And for the convention center, I always call us kind of an empty canvas, and all of these 20 departments come together and we paint the picture together, depending on what the event requirement is. Because at the end of the day, it is a work of art in terms of what we're able to produce in our industry. But the level of creativity we bring in every single profession, be it as a pastry professional, as a culinary professional, as an engineering expert, as an event professional, the level of creativity you bring in is amazing. And the standard that you're able to set is really exciting as well. So there's room for everyone. I think that's really my messaging at the end of the day for our industry. Don't ever feel like you don't have enough skill set or there's not enough experience, because I'm working with team members who's been here for 41 years since we opened the facility. But what kept me excited as an employee is that level of excitement they had when they first joined. It's still there. And my question was, how is it still there? Like, what is this magic potion that we have going around in our tourism hospitality industry? But I think the magic potion is the team spirit, the excitement that we bring into our work day that keeps it going. And yes, it is stressful. By no means am I saying that there is there is no stress, there is no hard work. But knowing that you have your team to support you, that balances out as well. And Ankit, I'm sure you can speak to that, because nothing is more stressful than a culinary and a kitchen environment. But knowing you have your team is really supportive.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like, to add on to that, it's more like I feel like it's in events, like you have one shot and you have to get it right. Like there is very less scope for like service recovery or like to make things right. So like especially when we are part of something big and special, and everybody is there for that one particular reason, so it has a lot of gravitas to like the work that we put in, and to make sure that everything is right, spotless. That reminds me something that I read somewhere about, like it's not like everyone makes mistakes, but it's just that how well you hide it. Like that's what is events all about. Like that's what I've learned in this past 3-4 years that I've been working in catering. It's a high day. It's how well. It's how do you. It's like how do you make sure that like to make it spotless, and like to make it seamless. That like it's a seamless experience for the people who are hosting, and as well as for the people who are attending. Yeah.
That is so true. And like we all want everything to go right all the time, but there are some times where something does go wrong, right? Like some electrical point doesn't work, or some light goes off, or someone's dress goes wrong. And like how, as event people, how do we try and rectify these things? What do we try and do, or how do we try and make up for it, if not by changing that, by making up for it in different ways? If you could shed some insight on that. Oh, Ankit, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's more often like it's like, at least for us, like we are an offsite caterer, so like we don't cater at the same place that we cook food, so everything is shipped off and everything is planned and everything is, well, sometimes what happens, like all the furniture, all the decor is everything transported to an event space and then it's set up from scratch. So there are times where the truck breaks down, or like the things don't work. It's like, so it's like at that point, like you got to be you have to think on your feet, and like what is the best possible outcome with this, and like how much time do we have to rectify, or say if it's an outdoor event and like some things are not in our control, like the climate is, weather is not in our control. It like we have a rain that day and it's an outdoor event, so what can we do? Like, so we are always prepared for like up to certain extent, like carry extra, like things, and like like make sure that we have everything is like working. And like one good thing, we also have like preventive maintenance for all our equipment, so that they make to make sure that they're working like properly. But sometimes even like things go wrong, like which are not in our control. But like for example, when I was working in France, the elevator broke down, and we had to like transport like 1,500 plates, which are already plated. And usually we used to like we have like a speed rack where we stack all the plates and we take it to the elevator. Now everybody from like kitchen, from the security, from the dishwashers, we had to make a chain and pass each plate like one by one across the stairs. So that is something that is also like a perfect example of teamwork. So it's not necessarily that you're doing your bit only in your expertise, but you also have to jump in at times when like the times of need, when you have to pull certain things off. And like to circle back to what I was telling about how well do you hide your mistakes, like none of them in the front knew that the elevator was broke down. The food was still served on time, and like as if nothing happened. So that's, I feel like that's what it is. Like it's either it's like the guest will always be entertained, either it's a symphony or a circus, like they have to be entertained at the end of the day.
That's a beautiful experience. Thank you for sharing that. And it's funny, it brings together teamwork and risk management in a way, right? You're not letting the guests know anything that happened and everything was
Yes.
smooth and flowing.
Yeah.
Um, Sarah, what about you as an HR perspective? What if something goes wrong with personnel? What if your event manager falls sick on the day? How is that dealt with?
One of um one of the concepts that we always talk about, we have something at the convention center in tying with our vision and our values. We have something called our service keys. And our service keys are really an empowering tool to empower our employees across the organization, regardless of your role is, if you're a manager, you're a supervisor, or if you're a frontline employee. When it comes to service recovery and helping a guest out, we're all responsible, regardless of which department we're responding to or representing. And that's something we really set the stage for from the beginning when an employee is joining in and going through orientation. I call, let's build your resource toolkit to be successful at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And everyone's resource toolkit is going to look very different because we all have various different learning styles. But I will tell you what information is available to you, and then you build your toolkit in terms of setting you up for success. So our service keys is a tool to empower our employees to be part of the decision-making process, and not feel like that they have to be hands-off and only the manager or the supervisor can make that decision. And I think that has been really, really helpful to not only grow and develop the team, but also set them up for success, because maybe they are looking to go into, a leadership role, or go into events, or different positions after they joined in as well. So that growth factor is really important. Like, what opportunities am I giving my team members to continuously learn and develop? So risk management is a great way to do that, because it really pushes you out of your comfort zone. And instead of being part of a discussion where you're just stating the problem that, okay, the elevator broke, you can always say, okay, the elevator broke, but then this is how I connected with the engineering team. And then I connected with my client and let them know that, hey, apologies, looks like we need some maintenance work done not for the elevator, but not to worry. They're on their way and they'll be here in 5 minutes. And I will update you once it's done. And once it's fixed, then you go back to the client and let them know, just closing the loop. The elevators are now fixed. So you've not just identified the problem and walked away, you've identified the problem, you've addressed it with a solution, you notified everyone who needs to be notified, so there's no surprises. And then you followed up after everything was nice and calmed down as well. And that whole service recovery chain, that workflow, everyone needs to be involved in that. at the end of the day. And I think that's where, again, I tie it back to the team spirit. If you have that passion, if you're enjoying what you're doing, if you're enjoying the work, the people that you're working with, you automatically start being part of the solution, because you don't want anything to be messed up at the end of the day. You don't want your team members to look bad. You don't want your event clients to look bad because you're fully invested. So I think once you find that connection within the industry, don't let it go. You've found gold at that point. It's very difficult to do that. So that's something that we really promote and really focus on in terms of let's get everyone into brainstorming and thinking about a solution, knowing that everyone has different skill set and experience as well. So that has really helped us when it comes to service recovery and risk management.
That's amazing. And again, it all leads back to teamwork, right? Because when you make an event, it's 10 people doing it together, not just one. Thank you. Well, I have one last question from my end. Students, feel free to ask any questions that you have. We do still have a couple of minutes left. My last question for you guys is, what is the most exciting event you guys have been a part of? Sarah, let's start with you.
Oh my, that's a difficult one. And it's difficult because we do so many different ones. I will I'll go back to what I talked about in terms of, the convention center really being kind of an empty canvas. And when an event comes, the painting that our team puts together, it's unreal. So for me, that first experience that keeps happening every year is definitely the auto show. And I'll be very honest, I know nothing about cars or anything of that nature. So my investment in that event is just out of sheer respect and at awe of what the team puts together. They take over the entire building, and it's my 11th year going through the auto show, and I'm still like, wait, how did that car just come here? What just happened here? How are they in the middle of the hall right now? I hope I never lose that, because I think it really is astonishing in terms of, we're a massive space. We are 2.5 million square footage of space between the both buildings, and sometimes it's really, I just want to be at awe of my team members, of what they're able to achieve and turn that space around. From an attendee perspective, I'll definitely say it's the Nashville Women's Show that happens every year, because I attend that as a group, my entire team in HR Payroll. So it's great that you're able to step away from your day-to-day and actually attend one of the events with your team member and experience it from the attendee perspective as well. And it's a nice kind of team collaboration opportunity. So those would be my one. But I feel like I have to mention Fan Expo. How can I not? How can I not mention? I have to. And one thing that we really try to balance out from an employee programs perspective is when we have these different public shows come in, because I also manage our social committee. So we do employee events as well. So we try to find that alignment of what events are coming in. How can we get our employees involved? So whenever Fan Expo comes in, we actually do our employee version of Fan Expo, where we all open up and have
That's so
a Fan
cool.
Expo themed lunch, and all of our team members are encouraged to join in and dress up. And we do a whole competition with Fan Expo theme as well. So it's a great way to start off that Fan Expo week for the team, because they get to join in as well and dress up. So yeah, those would be my ones.
That's exciting that employees get to be part of it as well. Like, that's different. It's not every day that you see that, okay, you can be part of the event while doing it.
And they
Of
resonate with that as well, because they take a step back and experience it from that perspective. And I think that has them more invested into the success of the
course.
event.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Ankit, what was
Yeah.
your most
So I
exciting
mean,
event?
like, asking me this question is like asking a parent, like, who's your favorite child? Like this, like, there's not like one single event that I felt that it's my favorite. But I think if I really have to pick, there was a couple of things. When I was working in Mumbai, we had this 3-day event for a finance company. It was like a big it was an MNC, and then they had like a 3-day conference where the whole hotel was booked. And like from the culinary perspective, we had like breakfast, high tea, lunch, high tea, dinner, and late night. So it's like 6 7 meals in a day, and each meal had a theme for a different theme for 3 days. And that was something that we pulled off, where like everybody from like your engineering built us all the props and stands for the thing. Say for example, for once we have for one high tea we had a supermarket theme, so they had to build us all like a cash counter with like all the food was like on different aisles as well. Like we had like a candy aisle, and then we had like a trail mix, pool of like trail mix, and then we had like certain like everything was packaged, and like people, and we all had this what do you call, like a small shopping basket which was given to client, and they could go and pick their food, and we had like a cash counter and like, so that is something that we did. And for the same event we had another like a chocolate themed event, where like including all your buffet razors, everything was made from chocolate. So yeah, and we had like a live like a conching machine, and like they could do their own chocolate bars and stuff like that. So that event was something which was really creative, and like it had a lot of scope to showcase your culinary skills as a hotel, as well as your individual, like as well as the chef as well. And that is one event which I could never forget, like which I was a part of in my career. And apart from that, the French Open, which I catered to, it's like 3 stadiums, and like 6,000 people feeding at once, and you have like a short window of time to make sure that they're well fed and they can go back to their game. And like, and it's like across like we had 7 restaurants, and everybody's serving at the same time. And it's all different food, like you have like a VIP lounge where they have like a more personalized service and like live desserts and stuff like that. And then you have like somebody who just wants to grab a bite or two, and you have like a small interactive station for them with like bao or tacos or things like that, like waffles and stuff like that. And that is another memorable event which I will not forget.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, thank you for sharing, Ankit, and thank you so much to both of y'all for being on this webinar meet and greet for our students. I don't see any other questions coming up, but I would just like to say events is all about creativity, teamwork, technical analytics. Everything can make an event become successful. And that's why two very different job roles, but they all lead back to the events industry, right? And that's the best part of the hospitality. You can be whatever you want, you can be whoever you want, and still be part of the team. So thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Ankit. It was our pleasure to host you, and we hope to see you again sometime.
Thank you,
Thank
Afia.
you.
Ankit, good to see you. And thank